I appreciate the conversation we had earlier this morning because you actually talked about the weight you're feeling. I'd be curious, especially since no one's ever done this work before and there it is completely ambiguous. How do you show some degree of confidence that you're guiding people in the right direction while knowing full well that no one's ever walked this path before?
A key part of showing confidence while leading ambiguous times is being willing to admit what we don't know. Because I think if someone displays like this all knowing confidence, that people are going to easily see through that and say, well, that's phony, that's not real. And so I think what's more authentic is saying there is so much that we don't know, and acknowledge that both for them, acknowledging how difficult for them in their various roles, whether it is a teacher or a parent, regardless of role, but also for our school division as a whole, that's difficult. So I think ultimately that displays confidence.
What have you found to be the easy way for leaders to get comfortable with that vulnerability and make the time for empathy as you go through this journey yourself?
Speaking from the heart and saying, hey, I feel anxiety right now. I know we all feel anxiety. I feel anxiety as the son of parents in their mid 70s, as a spouse, as the father of two kids, and as a superintendent with the responsibility of leading a school division. So part of it is, so I saw that resonated with principals, and so I've shared that in other settings, such as like a video and a community message. It helps people see you as a real person, even if you're immediately transitioning to saying, hey, these are the challenges we're facing, and this is how we're planning to deal with a variety of scenarios. So it's not like wallowing in the anxiety, but it's being real about it and then moving on.
I don't know if that's this is the right term, but it's really coming down to the level that makes you human and you show the humanity of the relationship that you have for the people as opposed to an authority figure, which often in large organizations you're kind of put on that pedestal, right, to have all of the answers.
And show another key aspect of humanity is encouraging others um, to extend grace to one another. So just this notion of an emphasis on progress, not perfection, that phrase has resonated with a lot of people right now, because people are so hard on themselves. What's important is not that people immediately understand each individual step. It's just helping them understand the broad direction in which they might head depending on various scenarios. So I know you've referred to that as directional clarity, and that is really important.
You mentioned a little bit about establishing core beliefs, and I'm curious to go into that a little bit further because I do think that establishing core beliefs would be essential. Where I think people struggle is there's so many beliefs that we have in education. Like, how do you pick the a few that really are going to drive the decisions and the work that you're going to have? Like, how do you filter all of the beliefs that an organization might have to a couple that really aren't the most important at the given condition?
As leaders, we enter situations with different core beliefs, and our organizations are at different stages into the extent to which we have shared core beliefs. But returning to those core beliefs are crucial during times of ambiguity. But I would say the core belief leading to decision making when there's imperfect information. Now, fast forward to planning for various COVID-19 scenarios, whether that's pure distance learning or a combination of distance learning and in-person learning or other iterations. A focus on core beliefs can help guide you to what success looks like. So, for example, a focus on wellness or a focus on deeper learning are examples of some of the key success indicators that are guiding our work.
Leaders listening to this, one of the things they're going to be wondering about is how to get started in this kind of work. And you and I talked a little bit about some of the self-awareness and self-care that's needed in order to have clarity of mind to move forward with this when you've never done it before. And so if you could talk a little bit about some of the tools that you rely on in order to, one, have clarity of mind for yourself, but also have the skills that allow you to bring others along, and the patience to bring others along. I'd love to hear that.
Time is incredibly short supply. However, it is so crucial for me to carve out even just minutes of reflection time. And the key is, it's not about, and for me, I write to collect my thoughts. And it's not about having something of publishable quality. It's really just like stream of consciousness organizing my thoughts. And the reason that this tool or approach is helpful is that it then allows me to interact with more confidence in these times when there's so much uncertainty, because I've at least organized my thoughts just enough. And so it's constant. So I do this on a daily basis, whether it's 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes.
I always have trouble talking with folks that say, well, I don't have time, and are like, you can't make 2 minutes or 5 minutes a time in your 24-hour schedule, and they can't, right? And so how do you build those habits and routines that are necessary to make that time that gives you increased productivity in the future, but it does require some sacrifice and investment now?
It's really about being intentional and recognizing the payoff in terms of saying, okay, I just co-facilitated a meeting of 45 or 80 people, and I was able to speak coherently, and that was important. Spending another 5 minutes doing a deeper dive on something else that I had to give up doing it, the benefit of that just wasn't as much. And so it's really about the recognition of that hey, it is really valuable if I'm being intentional about how to use that time.
Just the leadership you're providing around how to bring large organizations through a very complex and ambiguous time. And I'm just so excited to learn from you around some of the tactics that you're employing to take care of yourself as a leader, but take care of the people around you as also.
This is really hard, but it is a time, it's both exhausting and a time of personal growth at the same time.